Hello there, everybody. How are you all doing today? Welcome to more E3 2005 as we go through the show floor segments.
Yeah.
So this one's by Internet Video Dump. We did decide we'd go through this one, probably at 2 times speed, just in case there's nothing really all that new, but I think there's going to be some new stuff in here. So we will go through it. So yeah, once again, thank you, Internet Video Dump. I think we've seen something from them before as well. The name is familiar to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll start this on 2 times speed. So this one's a Spike TV thing, apparently, because I did see a Spike TV logo. And man, if you guys remember Spike TV, that was a really, really interesting period of TV.
Yeah, I can't say I ever watched Spike TV, but I do remember them being a thing.
Yeah, they were a thing. I do remember when they first aired, like literally when the channel started, and them just, I'm pretty sure anywhere, at least when it was talked about the most. And it was like, yo, it's a TV channel by guys for guys. And they leaned into like the college kind of frat boy kind of thing, I think. They had some decent shows. I still loved, what's it called? Joe Schmo. Still love Joe Schmo. Highly recommend people look for Joe Schmo. Because that's a really interesting one, right? Now, you know Joe Schmo, right?
I do not.
So Joe Schmo was a quote-unquote reality game show, right?
Okay.
Because the idea of it was you had this one guy who was the Joe Schmo. I don't remember the name of the guy. He's a cool guy from what I remember. But you had this one guy who was the Joe Schmo. And you put him in a fake reality game show, right?
Okay.
And everybody else, all the other contestants are actors. And they have a script to follow and a character to play. And he's the only one not in on it. Right? So it's like you put him through all of these really weird, crazy things that would happen on like a reality show.
Yeah.
But it's all fake, and he's the only one that thinks it's real. Right?
Oh. That's so sad.
So it's a really interesting premise, because you have like people getting voted out, and you have like actual like game like challenges that they play. And I remember one specific challenge, I think, that they did, where it was like oh, he was supposed to win, like the actual dude was supposed to win, but for some reason he quit, and they were like, shoot, what do we do? Oh no, something happened. Okay, we got to restart it, and then they like gave him an easier position to like stand in or something. So it's like, yeah, or they came up with some reason for him to still win it, essentially, right? Like the challenge.
That is interesting.
It's a really interesting show. Maybe I'll show it to you sometime.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, the Joe Schmo show. Watch it. It's really good. It might be on YouTube. But let's get on with this. Let's not talk about Joe Schmo the whole time.
I mean, that's probably a good idea.
Yo, it feels like we were just at E3 2004 yesterday, too. Man, isn't that crazy?
That's right, guys. I'm stuck here in a dark sound booth with no video games. Thanks. Yeah, see what we mean.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
We're gonna start the action right now. Oliver, I'm headed to the South Hall. Where are you headed? I'm headed over to the West Hall. So listen, you guys, check back with us often and prepare to get floored at E3. When it comes to Sony's booth money, it's no object. Take a look around. They've got the equivalent of 6 movie theater screens, and they hauled in over 1 million pounds of equipment. So sit back, relax.
That's a lot of pounds of equipment. I saw Pirates of the Caribbean there. Oh boy, Shadow of the Colossus. I saw that too. Love Shadow of the Colossus.
It's a great game.
You never played it, did you?
I played some of it. I never finished it.
Okay. I was gonna say, Megan, you can't say it's a great game if you've never played it.
Yeah. I mean, I played a decent amount of it. I don't remember how far I got, but it was fun what I played.
As well as head-to-head arena combat. It's really cool. We're going 6 players online at a time. You got split screen multiplayer. You can play 2 players split screen at home, online with your friends. We also have compatibility with Astro PSP this time. But you link them together with a USB cable and.
Yeah. So some of these interview segments, I think we have seen. I assume maybe they like were spliced into some of the other things.
Yeah, I think so.
Shadow of the Colossus, like many of the PS2 games in Sony's booth, is an absolute looker. And look for all these games to be out by holiday 2005.
Shadow of the Colossus is absolutely beautiful. Like, that's 100% true. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a beautiful game. I love Shadow of the Colossus. Like, just for that. Like, Shadow of the Colossus is actually one of those games where, like, I can play even now, and to me, I can say, holy crap, this looks so real, right? Like, we've talked about that before with, like, older games, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's on the PS2,
It
but it
is.
looks amazing. You know, like, it's so
It
weird.
does.
It's so weird how good that game looks. Like, it's absolutely beautiful.
Look for Mark Echoes getting up in fall 2005 on your PS2.
Hey, E3 insiders, if you like dancing, if you like to party, Konami's got the booth for you. Check it out.
Yo, Konami dancers!
Okay, the Konami
Oh, they're dancing.
To go play DDR, but, like, in real life, on the stage.
We're gonna go check it out. I'm not gonna sing for you.
Yeah.
It's painful to your ears, but let's go see what this guy sounds like.
Yeah, so we saw this guy.
This is the brand new Sing
We
and Dance.
did.
You sing and dance at the same time. You judge both on your singing and your dancing. This is going to be on Xbox, Gamecube, and PS2 this coming Christmas. You can sing and dance as one person, or you can have two people, one person singing and one person dancing. Or we will have 50 songs on the game this year.
I wonder, what we saw then.
Definitely hop in. Right now we have entered Club Revolution.
Like, in the previous, show floor.
The interactive DJ simulation game.
Because, like, this had some of it spliced in, so I don't know
Together, all in real time.
where that would have come from. Maybe that was on, like, a DVD. Maybe this is what aired online, and maybe the other one was, like, a DVD version or something. I'm not too
It's
sure.
probably something like that. That could have just been a more curated look at E3, and this is like the full uncut thing.
Maybe. Castlevania.
Coming out on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox this fall.
Eternal
New character,
Darkness.
new storyline, and the story focuses all around betrayal and revenge.
And that's gonna do it from the Konami booth. Did a little dancing, a little flooding, hung out with Dracula, and Konami is so determined to pull in an audience, they're even giving away TVs, entertainment systems, consoles, and they're gonna have a dance show coming up. We're gonna take a look. There it is right there. I'm gonna sit down and enjoy it myself, so I'll check you guys out later.
Oliver here. I'm at the One of Vista Games booth, and I know what you guys are thinking, kids games. But I'm telling you, they got some stuff you want to check out. So come on.
It's like, I know what you guys are thinking. Kids games.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Everybody knows the movie.
It's like, I don't know. I haven't thought that ever, you know? I mean, maybe I would have back
Well,
then, to be fair.
I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe just Buena Vista Games had a reputation for doing kids games?
Well, Buena Vista is Disney. It's a Disney
Oh.
company.
Okay, I didn't know it was a Disney company. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the Chronicles of Narnia.
Paid homage to one of the most underrepresented mythical creatures, the Minotaur. How do you enjoy being in the game?
Moo.
How are the game and the movie related?
Well, the game and movie are definitely tied together very closely. The Chronicles of Narnia and the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is such a great story. We want to do our best to make sure that we convey that story right back to the customers.
Now, what sort of gameplay
I
modes do you
forgot they had a Chronicles of Narnia game.
Collaboration, and obviously
I did too. It's probably not very good.
Probably not.
And with two players, they can switch between themselves, and they can also combine characters to perform powerful
Turn
combo
just a
moves,
little bit more.
additional strength moves, power moves, to make it a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
that's fair.
Have two players sitting side by side and have a fantastic experience playing through the story.
I need to actually watch those movies at some point.
Well, that's it from Buena Vista Games.
Yeah, I've only ever seen the first Narnia movie.
Spike TV. The original host of the... Well, not host, but the original channel of the Video Game Awards. Oh, the Frag Dolls. I remember them.
Depending on the day, we can go like 16 hours, 17 hours. New game comes out, you don't sleep.
Yeah, that's funny.
Influence over girl gamers and what you're doing to change just the general image. Well, I just hope the fact that you're out there and that we do get coverage in the media and
You know what, actually, yeah, there's some worth watching at, like, 1x speed, I think. Because, to be fair, I think... From what I remember, I think it was, like, a good idea, like, oh, get more girls into gaming, right? I think was the
Okay.
idea of it. Nowadays, it doesn't really matter, because now everybody plays video games, right?
Yeah.
You might think that the only girls around are booth babes. Are you ready to meet the hottest gamers in the world? I'm here with the Frag Dolls who are bringing a new face to girl gaming. Tell me a little bit about what you guys do. I hear you guys play up to 8 hours a day of games. Depending on the day, we can go like 16 hours, 17 hours.
Shit, man, I remember when I could play 8 hours of, like, video games in a day.
Tell me a little bit about your influence
Yeah.
on girl gamers and what you're doing to change
I
the general
can't
image.
anymore.
The fact that we are out there and that we do get coverage from the media.
Cat
that
Scratch.
everyone's
I like that
able
name.
to see that girls play more. And the fact that we do it and that we're good at it gives, hopefully a good face to women in gaming everywhere. We've been kicking butt all over this place.
I wonder what they're up to now.
Rainbow Six Lockdown, been basically undefeated.
Yeah, I'd be
before-
kind of curious.
And before all these women are, like, Twitch streamers now. I could see that.
That would be really funny. Quite the coincidence.
Because, like, they all have, like, handles. So they all definitely, like, play games online.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think that you could beat a Frag Doll?
I don't think so.
So for all you guys who think the only gals in gaming are the leather-clad pixelated beauties on your screen, think again and prepare to get fragged.
Yo. I don't. Would you have been into the Frag dolls back then
No.
if you knew about them?
It's too corny.
I mean, maybe a little bit.
And John Romero, creator of Doom, brings us another chapter in the always popular Gauntlet series. Let's start.
Gauntlet. Yeah, I'm gonna see if like the Frag dolls actually even still exist, like as an entity.
The game is based on Mortal Kombat 2. Every character is in the game somewhere. The story is based on MK2, and all the backgrounds have interactive levels in this game. Alright, so I got y'all the sneak peek that you've been wanting. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks gonna come out this September. Now leave me alone.
We're a group, so they're not a group anymore.
Yeah.
They were recruited and employed by Ubisoft apparently.
Oh, that's interesting.
They folded in 2015.
Wow, really? Huh.
Although, you know what? This is actually funny. So I'm gonna pause this here because I want to read this, right? Because there's a history here.
Okay.
Apparently, they were originally recruited by an advertisement on Craigslist in 2004. Thank you, Ubisoft. Thank you. Well, Jinx has her own wiki page. What do you do?
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, wow. Oh, wait. Oh, she founded a Rooster Teeth's news division in the know. I didn't know that.
That's pretty cool.
That's interesting. She also voices a character in Ruby. Okay, well, she went on to do something. Oh, and she married Bernie Burns, the founder of Rooster Teeth. That makes sense. Damn.
Yeah.
I forgot about... Man, I didn't even know that. Huh. Well, damn. Okay, well, there you go. Well, she did something. That's pretty crazy, actually. Huh. All right. What about the other ones? Did the other ones do anything? Brooklyn, Ekers, Cat Scratch Roulette, Seppuku, and Valkyrie. Nate Mordo and Drew Roulette were full-time Ubisoft employees who helped initiate the group. Ekers left the group a year later. Cat Scratch left 2 years later. Then they introduced 2 new Frag dolls called Caliber and Psych. Recruit is part of an online reality show produced by Game Trailers. The more I read this, the more sad I kind of get, because I don't know, it seems like, you know, on the outside it's like, whoa, promoted to help girls get into gaming. But then when you read this, it's like, oh, Ubisoft kind of like threw them together from Craigslist. And then they would all just kind of leave. And then like a couple came due to, you know, like a Game Trailers thing. It's like, And I guess some of them were just like Ubisoft employees.
Okay.
Huh. Okay, so they disbanded for the kind of the same reason I figured, right? Apparently they disbanded because, as quoted, the video game community had moved on and that women playing video games was no longer considered unusual or atypical.
Yeah,
So,
that
yeah.
makes sense.
Oh, good job for you, Jinx. You married the founder of Rooster Teeth. And, yeah, that's pretty great.
And also you can advance your characters, buy new combos, and power up your existing combos. So if you're a fighter, not a lover, then Midway has what you need with Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks and Drama 7 Sorrows.
Let's take a moment and meet Matt Shoppins here from Massachusetts, who came all the way here. He's part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and we're going to find out a little bit about his story. Tell me about the process that brought you out here.
Well, I guess it all started when I was in the hospital. I had leukemia, and I had to get a bone marrow transplant. I spent all of last summer in the hospital, and it wasn't too fun, but I made it through it, and now I'm in remission, so I was lucky I even got to come here this year.
Let's take a moment and meet Matt's family and friends. First up, we have
Christian Gaskell.
Mom and Dad.
I'm Jerry Shopping here. My wife, Ann.
Tell us a little bit about your guys' E3 experience.
Pretty good, crowded. There's a lot to do. We got a lot of free t-shirts.
Got all free t-shirts, nice.
Let's take a minute to meet Cameron from California.
Well, good for him.
Tell me a little bit about what
Hopefully he's doing fine.
It's been amazing. Yesterday I played some games with Nintendo booth, I played the new Zelda,
Yeah.
and I went to go meet Shigeru Miyamoto.
Tell me about that. Did you get to talk
Ah,
about
that's nice.
We talked for like 40 minutes, and he let me play on his Game Boy, GBA Micro. I
That's pretty
got
cool.
leukemia in October of like 2004, 3, and then I was in the hospital for a long time, and then one of the nurses suggested Make-A-Wish, and they sent in my thing, and then here I am. I knew I wanted to meet Shigeru Miyamoto, and it was just a bonus to get to come to this, because you just happened to be here. Hi, I'm Lonnie, I'm his mom.
I'm Roxanne, I'm his sister.
I'm Jack, I'm Charlie.
I'm Paul, I'm Jack.
This is actually his donor for his bone marrow transplant.
Now it's time to meet Mary Gallagher, who is VP of...
Well, I hope he's okay too. Man, this is taking a bit of a turn.
Children. As you'll see, we have the Make-A-Wish families here, and we'd like to host their visit, and we'd like to give
A
them
little
some
bit.
our exhibitors and some E3. Everybody got something?
And what exactly are they getting?
We did some research and found out what they were interested in, whether it was Gamecubes or PlayStations and Xbox, and we got some of those for them, and we're happy to give them to take home.
Fantastic consoles. Enjoy, you guys. Cameron's getting a Gamecube.
Well, now these are people that there probably isn't a wiki page for, unfortunately, but hopefully they're okay. Hopefully they're fine.
Here at the Namco booth, I promise you, these people have come a long way.
Yeah.
They got 26 titles, and I don't have a lot of time, so let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Soul Calibur 3.
That's right. I want to get some scoop on this. This time the game's developers, the designers are all Japanese, and I don't think
It's okay. There's a lot of games. I don't blame them for having to count it out.
on Namco's much anticipated sequel. In this PlayStation 2 exclusive title, you can pick from more than 20 classic characters, 3 new characters, or create your own character to see which warrior will win the Battle of Blades.
That's right, you can create a character in this one, I forgot.
Of past Soul Calibur games in the museum.
That's cool.
Yo, Katamari!
Katamari Damacy.
One of the strangest and most enjoyable games to come out last year. Now, besides the 2-player cooperation mode, and
Yes, this is the sequel, I believe.
Yeah, so this is We Love Katamari?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we
That's
came,
cool.
We saw, we conquered all the hot titles at the Namco booth for E3 05.
That's all Namco had. Well, that they're showing anyway.
Well, here's
Apparently.
our very own staff member Leslie Hulick.
I guess they want to show the Pac-Man DS game.
But what she saw on the big screen when she got there had nothing to do with
Aw.
Howard proposed to Leslie.
That's cute. That's kind of cute.
Asked for Nintendo's help with the planning, and
Yeah.
they were happy to oblige. I think we can tell by the reaction that the answer was yes.
Well, thanks, Nintendo. You see, hopefully they're still together. See, this is giving me, like, a bit of an internal crisis, because I was like, did the 2 cancer survivors actually, like, continue to be cancer-free and like, live? Or the one, or at least, you know, the one guy? I think the guy in the wheelchair still had it. So it's like, well, are they fine? Did they make it? And then with that marriage, did that marriage survive? I need to know
Yeah.
these things.
That's kind of always something I've thought about people doing rather showy or flashy, like, proposals to people in very public places like that. I'm like, well, what happens if it doesn't work out? It just, like, everyone's gonna be able to see and remember that years to come, especially if it's recorded like this one was.
Yeah, right.
We're doing something different. We've got a lot more freedom to do what we want with Perfect Zero. We're building on the game Perfect 64, where Joanna was introduced to the world as a perfect agent. Perfect Zero takes us back in time a little bit further to see how she became that perfect agent, see how she developed a relationship with the character institute. Can't say any more than that at this point.
Indeed, the Xbox 360 looks like a powerful machine, but gamers will find out for themselves this holiday season when the Xbox 360 debuts worldwide.
We're off the Sony floor. Behind the scenes, we're going to give you your exclusive look at the PS3. Now, they don't even show it on the floor. They're not showing any titles running on it. Absolutely nothing, but you guys, take a look at that.
Absolutely nothing. That's, yeah, how we felt about it.
Here it is, a sneak peek at the
They're showing absolutely nothing about the PS3.
Release year 2006, cost priceless.
Yeah,
Actually,
pretty
we haven't
much.
set a price on it yet, but if you keep your ears peeled, I'm sure we'll be hearing about it soon.
Yeah, we'll be hearing about that soon. Next year.
How to treat its gamers right. I'm playing the PSP right now, actually World Tour Soccer. There are about 24 titles at launch, currently about 30 and 100 titles in development for the PSP.
Oh wait, hold on. Which Ape Escape is this? Is this the minigame compilation one? Academy.
It must be,
Yeah, because this one had like mini games on it. I think it was seen as kind of like a really weird Ape Escape.
yeah, from what I understand, it's not too great.
Yeah, because how did it do? How did you fare? Yeah, pretty mid to bad by the looks of it. Because it's not Ape Escape. That's kind of
No.
the problem with it, right? The con.
They kind of pull the rabbits with it.
Yeah, right. I'm medieval.
I forgot about this medieval game.
Dexter.
Dexter!
Is that a good one? I don't remember. It's Secret Agent Clank that's bad, right?
Yeah, Dexter's pretty okay. Like, it's not the best platformer I've played, but it's very unique. And it's got, like, this really cool, like, mode where you can, like, catch and train and, like, battle bugs. It's really interesting.
That seems kind of random, but also kind of cool.
Yeah, I've played it a decent amount against AI. I never really understood it when I played it. It's unfortunate I never got ported, though.
Yeah, it didn't, did it? Because, yeah, a lot of the games on, like, the PSP did get... Well, not a lot of them, but some of the ones that could be tied to a console were ported.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a shame, because I definitely would have bought it on PS2 if they had ported it.
One really cool feature Sony's offering for the PSP and the PS2 is a syncing feature. So for example, if you're playing your PSP, Daxter, you take him to a certain level, you sync it up with your PlayStation 2, your character on your PlayStation 2 is at that level, and doors are unlocked, worlds are unlocked. It's on Daxter and SOCOM right now, but more titles are in development.
Okay, I thought she was going to talk more about Dexter. I was like, oh. Megan probably want to hear about this.
As I say, the way she suggested it is that there is a PS2 port, but as far as I'm aware, I never got one.
Well, no, I think she's talking about the syncing feature with Jack X that they talked about before.
Oh, right, they did mention with Jack X. Okay, I was like, wait. I didn't want to be telling people the wrong information, but I'm like, if there's a PS2 port I didn't know about, I gotta track that down.
I mean, you definitely would. I had to look it up too, and I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I'm
Just
not
in
seeing
case.
it on price charting or anything.
The survival horror genre has several titles in it. Why am I going to plunk down my money to buy Condemned? Because it's a very different game. It's not survival horror isn't really the genre. We're going for more of a psychological horror element, more like something you would find in a cinematic experience like Seven. You are Ethan Thomas, who's an FBI detective. You've been essentially framed for a crime you didn't commit by a serial killer. So you're hated when that happens. Yeah, it's a rough gig. It happened to me like 3 times last year. Just today, twice. Yeah, the paperwork is immense. So when can we expect Condemned? We're not exactly sure when Microsoft is going to launch the console, but we will be available in the Xbox 360 launch window. Yo, what did I tell you? I got you guys covered, man. You gotta trust me. Listen, you gotta look for Condemned and Full Auto when the Xbox 360 launches, possibly during the fall.
Peace.
Oliver here. E3's almost over, but I made a pledge to cover some sports. And when I say 2K, that's exactly what you're thinking. Let's check them out. First and foremost, Touchdown 2 is not an Xbox game, is it? It's a 360 game?
Touchdown 2 is a 360 game, which means a lot. It means that thanks to the power of the console, we can now increase the realism, which was our first goal, our main goal actually, to make the user feel is playing a real tennis game, you know?
I also got the scoop on what's different with NHL 2K6, NBA 2K6, and the all-new WPT 2K6 from PR manager Anthony Chow.
One thing that's at the part, something new this year is on the fly coaching. The player's able to set on the D-pad 4 different quick plays. They can screen the
It's interesting that they had like a poker game in the 2K like branding.
It's a pretty incredible violent game. The NBA 2K series has always been a leader in terms
It's a bit
of
weird.
They always strive to have the most realistic and most exciting visuals on the court. We've added a new movement system, so guys aren't just standing around winning the ball, they're like waving the guy off. When guys bump each other, they actually like you actually see the collision. I mean, it lands to a much more lively,
Yeah.
realistic, and much more entertaining basketball game.
There's other corporate titles being released this year on the show floor at E3. Why is WPT 2K6 going to be the one to go buy?
Well, first off, it's fun. It's just the tell system, the human element of it is just key. Number two, we have all the professionals. It is a game with the professionals, by professionals. I mean, you can see right here. You know, it's based on the World Poker Tour, national poker tour that takes place all around the world, and the stakes are really high.
I know the story might have seemed a little bit short, but I've just been playing all these games for like the last half hour. I gotta get back on the job. Peace.
Godfather,
Yes, David.
I need to ask a favor. All right, I'm here with David DiMartini, who is vice president and executive producer of The Godfather. Tell us.
I do think it's kind of cool how they made him like kind of dress up like, you know, a mobster from like the 30s or whatever, 20s. Gave him like a nice leather chair too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You're going to earn respect, you're going to gain money for the family, you're going to gain territory for the family, and then ultimately you'll work your way up through the family ranks until you become the Godfather. We have a very innovative control system called the Black Hand control system, and there's 3 dimensions to it. The first dimension is a context-sensitive analog fighting system, so very much like a boxing or a wrestling game. The second dimension is the pressure point targeting system, so you've got various pressure points on the body to shoot at the shoulders, to shoot at the arms, to shoot at the knees. You want to be as violent as you need to be in any given situation without being any more violent than you had to be. When you do that, that's when you're going to maximize the respect that you get in any situation. And then the third dimension is kind of a face-to-face system where you have the opportunity to extort, negotiate, and do those things that mobsters do.
So are you a friend of ours? Do you have a problem that needs to be taken care of? If so, then be sure you become a member of the Corleone family and pay your respects to the Godfather. Are you guys ready for the ultimate experience in gaming in round? Let me show you what experts in LA, New York, and London, 9 digital projectors powered by 9 hard drives. Take a look at what this can do.
That's a lot of projectors.
The floor is shaking.
That is a lot, yeah.
And it's nearly an hour and a half of digital animation that was created specifically for the EA booth. We're just getting started. First up,
Yeah, Harry Potter.
everyone's favorite kid wizard, Harry Potter.
We got spells to interact with everything in the environment. If you want magic, we got it. All we do is we work with Warner Brothers.
If you want magic, we got it.
Apparently.
Everything we need to know what they're doing, so we can be as close to them as possible.
Burnout.
The Burnout series decides to get even with Burnout Revenge.
Nice.
You may be familiar with Burnout's signature takedowns and crashes, but with Revenge, the action has been increased tenfold. This game is all about revenge. The more aggressive you are, the more your revenge meter will build. You can now check traffic and use other cars as shields, or as ways to take out other drivers. What's also new are the vertical attacks. That's right, you can now take out your opponents from above, if you manage to live that long. Last on our
Battlefield
schedule,
2, wow.
is Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. Being released in October for both the Xbox and the PS2, I got more details from executive producer Marcus Nelson.
Basically, what it's doing is taking online gaming to another level for the console, supporting 24 players online, huge big levels, a lot of vehicles.
I feel like Battlefield 2 on the console probably wouldn't have been nearly as good as Battlefield on the PC though. I think at the time like consoles just didn't have what Battlefield like needed.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate from what I understand.
Okay, let's kick off E3 with our first booth tour of Ubisoft. They're adding to their roster this year Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon 3, Prince of Persia, and Peter Jackson's King Kong.
You know what? I enjoyed Peter Jackson's King Kong for what it was.
On Ghost Recon 3, pretty much everything's new. Of course, the biggest thing is we're going to be a launch title for Xbox 360.
Yeah, I never played it. I heard it's okay though. The movie was pretty alright.
See, I never watched the movie, funnily enough.
It's a long movie, but it's pretty okay.
Prince of Persia for Xbox and PlayStation 2.
The Prince has returned
return to the city of Babylon, he's expecting a hero's welcome, and he returns, he sees an army attacking the city, and he realizes it's anything but the royal treatment. He gets infected by the sands of time, and for the non-players, the sands of time, they just have to know that it's a magical sand that changes people and infects them and makes them evil. And as he becomes more and more infected, the Dark Prince, the second playable character that we're so happy with, becomes more and more powerful and has more and more influence over the prince's choices.
Secrecy surrounds Scooby's King Kong, but I was able to squeeze a few tidbits out of the game's director.
With this game, you will play a human, adventurer, and King Kong himself. So that's a very big game.
And that's going to conclude your tour of the Ubisoft booth. We got you some sneak peeks, though. And most of the Ubisoft titles, the new hot one coming out, available at the end of this year. Okay, there's a huge line to get in to get a sneak peek at Zelda. We're cutting, of course.
Ooh, Zelda.
We're going to see it right now.
Yeah, cut. Damn, man, she got her hand kissed by Link, man. So lucky. Look at that. By Link himself. And even I'm kind of jelly.
What a gentleman.
So tell me, what's so cool about the new Zelda game?
Well, people were playing Zelda games for, as long as they can remember. And, the Zelda series, there's a lot of history with people. And I think this game is really going to blow people away.
Tell me about some of the storylines.
Well, some of the storyline is still secret, but the action is incredible. One of the things I'm going to show you here is actually Link riding on a horse and cutting down enemies. It's really incredible. The all-new graphical look to this game is really a departure from the Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. It's a realistic graphic style, it's a more mature Link. It's got an edgier look to it. And I think fans are really going to think it's pretty amazing.
Look who I bumped into again. He's here to rescue me from this bad man. Oh my god, you're my hero.
That's good.
Yes, gamers, it's the booth you've all been waiting for. I give you Xbox. Even with all the hype about the Xbox 360, Microsoft has by no means abandoned your Xbox. The proof is all around you.
PC Gamers made Half-Life 2 a bestseller last year, and the game is looking just as good on Xbox. Gamers lined up to see the brand new Halo 2 maps and the new World War II shooter, Call of Duty 2.
All very good.
Games, action adventure, there's something for every gamer here at Microsoft.
All right, well, we ran the gauntlet, so to speak, over here at the Microsoft booth. Hope you're satisfied.
Man, Presto was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Let's see what Square Enix has to offer. Kingdom Hearts 2, Dragon Quest 8, Radiata Stories, Full Metal Alchemist, the Final Fantasy franchise, highly anticipated, and their ventures into mobile gaming. Take a look. It's time to talk about Kingdom Hearts 2. This is actually the third game in the series, so at least Square Enix is going to tell us a little bit about how...
Yeah, I need to play through the Kingdom Hearts games eventually. I really need to.
You do.
As you do in the movie, James Woods is playing Hades in the Hercules world, and Haley Joel Osment is playing Sora again. And when's the release date? It's this winter, 2005. Our next stop on the Square Enix booth tour is Dragon
Yeah, I need to also play a Dragon Quest game. I've never played a Dragon Quest game. I don't know why.
Yeah, I would like to. I played a little bit of Dragon Quest 9 because I had that one on the DS, but I found it to be very difficult at the time. That was before I was like really into RPGs though. So like I've been kind of meaning to go back to that and maybe try it again, or maybe start with 8. I'm not really sure which would be the best one to start with.
It seems that one of the biggest draws of the Square Enix booth is Final Fantasy VII, which includes 4 games, including the Dirge of Cerberus, Advent Children's DVDs. It's like a movie.
Yo, Advent Children! Show them one of the best parts of the movie.
Final stop on the booth tour. It's all about mobile gaming, and we're gonna get to see some of Before Crisis actually on cell phone. Yeah, this is part of Final Fantasy VII compilation. It's the second one, and it's 6 years before the first Final Fantasy. We get to play the Church, which is where the bad guys in the original story. Our company really wants to get into mobile games because it's the networking capabilities and being able to play against your friends and on the go. And that concludes your booth tour of Square Enix. With that lineup, there's a lot in store.
The Activision booth is slammed with games like Tony Hawk American Wasteland, X-Men 2, and the movies. We sent our own Oliver into action to get the scoop on a few of Activision's hot titles.
I'm here with my boy Rob Alvey. He is a senior producer on Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1. Not to be confused with Call of Duty 2, correct?
That is correct. Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1 is a completely new game, totally original for the current generation consoles, PS2, Xbox, and Nintendo GameCube. For the first time in any Call of Duty game, we're going to be following the same player character and his squad all the way through from beginning to end. So we take the title Big Red 1, comes from the U.S. 1st Infantry Division. These are the guys when they send the troops into war, they got there first. It wasn't a pleasant job, somebody's got to do it, and they go through great historic battles through North Africa, Italy, all of Western Europe.
All right, typically you guys would have had to stand in this kind of line to get this kind of look at Quake. I'm here with Todd, the CEO of id Software, so let's take a sneak peek. We've all heard about Quake 4, we've all seen
Oh man, he gets to cut in line.
Familiar with Quake 2, it's a continuation of the Quake 2 storyline, except for way over the top with graphics.
Media, am I right?
And even in the middle of the game, you actually turn parts into the aliens.
Yeah.
Bring them down because now you have the inside of their network. You can take them down from the inside.
What we got here is Ultimate Spider-Man. This is based on the Marvel comic book of the same title. This is an updating of Spider-Man for the 21st century. What we got here is a Spider-Man that's still in high school. He's got all the same problems you had in high school. You play about half the game as Spider-Man and about half the game as Venom. So you're playing as the bad guy for a change. From comic book games to hard-hitting shooters, Activision has something for every gamer.
Seems like a very chill area.
It does.
Oliver here. I'm going to be really straight with you guys, all right? I was supposed to cover some games here at the Atari booth. I was supposed to cover Indigo Prophecy 2. I was supposed to cover Test Drive Unlimited. And I was supposed
Indigo
to
Prophecy 2? Have a sequel?
They were gonna make a sequel?
I don't know. Were they? Hold on. I want to make sure I heard that right. I just need to see some of the chill area.
Alright, E3 Insiders, Oliver here, and I'm going to be really straight with you guys, alright? I was supposed to cover some games here at the Atari booth. I was supposed to cover Indigo Prophecy 2. I was supposed to cover...
I guess they were gonna make an Indigo Prophecy too.
That's interesting because I don't think that ever became a thing.
I don't know. Let me actually look this up because now I'm really curious. Indigo Prophecy 2. Well, I do see on this one website, Quantic Dream, Indigo Prophecy 2 not gonna happen. Posted in 2009. So, I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe they had the idea, but then I guess they just didn't.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that article, and I guess David Cage basically said that they were talking to publishers. Many of them loved Indigo and were interested in publishing a sequel. So he thought about what he would want to do for a sequel, but then he realized that they didn't have anything more to say about the story or characters.
I mean, that's kind of fair. I don't want to give David Cage like any props, but I mean, if that's true, then that's kind of respectable. It's like, well, we don't know what to do for the story, so we're just not going to make it, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's always been part of a studio where he kind of just does like different things. I'd be very surprised if he ever made a sequel to any of his games.
I mean, true. Be interesting if he did.
I think it would be. Like, I think at this point, most likely it would be probably Detroit, but I don't know if they would do that considering how long it took him to do Detroit.
True.
Unlimited, and I was supposed to cover D&D Online.
D&D Online.
But you know what happened? I found me the lounge, and I mean, this place is amazing. So we narrowed it down to The Matrix, Path of Neo. Check it out.
I mean, man, it's so weird that he was gonna like take a look at it though.
If you get this one,
That film when we don't get to see what could have been.
Reloaded, Revolutions, and more.
Yeah, right.
Another thing that we're trying to innovate on is the whole strike and blocking thing.
It probably would have been bad.
I mean,
But
probably.
And like martial arts, your strikes are your blocks. And one thing that we really want to get in this game that's really prominent in the movies is when they're going back and forth.
I don't really have like much faith in most sequels.
This guy comes at you with a 2-hit combo. You stand there and he goes 1, 2, 3,
well, yeah, most sequels are not good, but like David Cage, for anyone who doesn't know, kind of has a pattern with his games where he'll start off with some kind of intriguing concept, usually with some kind of supernatural element. He'll get to a certain point in the story where things will just go like absolutely crazy and stop making sense. And Indigo Prophecy very much does that. So like trying to do a sequel based on how that game can end, I think would be really weird. But there's a lot of different endings to that game. Like, I don't even know what the canonical ending is. I've only ever gotten, like, I think one of them because I happened to get the same one twice when I played it.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't even know there were multiple endings.
Yeah. I don't know how many there are, but I know there's at least a few different ones. But yeah, that's basically happened in every David Cage game. I'd say the least egregious example that was Detroit, but like almost all of them get really weird in terms of storytelling and they stop making sense.
That sounds about right from what I understand.
Yeah.
Alright, Oliver here. I'm at the Blizzard booth, and fess up, you guys. How many years of your life have you spent playing either Warcraft or Starcraft? Well, I'm here with the good people at Blizzard to get you the scoop on what you're going to be spending the next few years playing.
And you won't play Ghost.
You won't play Ghost.
Tell you the man to talk to if you want to know
Sad.
what is new, what's the bomb, what's going on with Ghost.
The greatest what could have been is Ghost.
Yeah.
We're doing right now is we're proposing mostly pairing units, but we're definitely looking forward to like putting in Zerg and Protoss units. So that everybody that was like playing RTS back before, we really kind of feel like
Honestly, I feel bad for all the devs that worked so hard on this game, because it looks like it would have been really good, and then it just never came to be.
What's the status of the game? How
Yeah, right.
We really were focusing on like additional like new content. If it requires us to actually go into the 2006, the first half of that year in order to deliver a powerful game, that's what we're gonna do.
Stacey and Oliver here, wrapping up E3 2005. What was one of your favorite moments?
Alright, I like the next gen console stuff and the NC Saw Poop where they had that whole mutator band going. That was really, really cool. Stage yourself.
Make-A-Wish Foundation, of course. I also loved all the monster titles. There was Scarface, Taxi Driver, and of course, The Godfather, and mobile gaming. Huge this year.
Let's not forget the Tylenol out couch. We spent some time over there. Here's some of our other favorite stuff.
Check it out. Here at E3, gaming is exhaustive business, and for the first time, IGN is acknowledging that, offering earplugs, Tylenol, and free massages.
Well, that's kind of nice.
Ah, felt so good. Richie, I know you needed that too, but talk to me. I need a brother. Thanks. Alright.
Because I'm so afraid of this spider behind us. Okay, that's gonna wrap up your coverage for E305. We hope you have as much fun as we did, and we want to say a special thank you to everyone behind the scenes who made it happen.
There's a lot of folks who made it happen, but in particular, we're going to thank the folks who made E3 Expo happen with the DSA, the staff on E3 Insider, and of course,
Brian, our voice from above.
who last time I checked was chasing around on Kobe Face, which is why he's not here.
Of course he was.
So listen, I'm Oliver John.
I'm Stacey Bartolata, and
We'll
we'll
see you
catch you
next year at E306. Bye.
Later.
All right. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Yeah, so we saw some new things from this one.
Yeah, there was some.
Yeah, there was some. Yeah. Yeah, still pretty interesting show floor overall. I still miss the VHS though, Megan. I still miss the VHS just roaming through E3 like one of the dudes, you know. I miss that. But you know, what can you do? We still have the show floors are still worth checking out, I think. Even if they do get like interviewee.
They are very interviewee, and I mean, even when it comes to like the stuff they have on the show floor, they don't have as many interesting things. Like with the old ones, they had like all the statues, they had like the BMX display, and I mean, they had the breakdancing and stuff this year, but they didn't have anything like super unique on the show floor itself.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe because we're not going around the show floor, maybe we're just not seeing some of that stuff. But I don't know. Yeah, maybe this is when E3 kind of starts to get like, yeah, maybe it loses some of the fun. It still has like some of the soul, but it's not all quite there. Maybe this is me speculating. I could be wrong, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense.
But yeah. I personally can't wait for E3 2006. I think that's going to be really, really fun. I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm very curious because you keep hyping it up, and like I'm looking forward to seeing it because I don't think I've ever seen it.
Legendary. It's legendary, in my opinion. So yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's it for E3 2005. Overall, pretty good year for games, I'd say.
Yeah, it was a lot of good stuff. It was nice to kind of see all the three big publishers kind of showing a bit of their console. Obviously, some did better than others. Cough, cough, Sony.
Yeah, right.
But it's kind of nice to see them coming out. I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to have to show, I presume, for launch lineups like next year and Xbox's first year because they're coming out early.
Yeah, right. Now, you know, just kind of thinking about it, right? I kind of noticed that we, and you know, it's not because I keep forgetting. It's just, you know, I don't really see a need to really mention it, but it doesn't really seem like for the past couple years at least there hasn't really been like a solid like theme. Because you remember how in like the early years we'd go like, oh, you know, there's a lot of like these kind of fighters coming out. There's a lot more sports games, you know.
Yeah.
We're not really seeing that with video games anymore. I don't think there seems to be like a lot more variety, in general. Right?
Yeah, I would assume with them doing a lot of the same type of games, they probably just competed against each other and decided that they probably can't just like continue to do that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously you're still seeing like a lot of racing games, a lot of shooters, but I mean, I wouldn't really say that's like a theme, right? Like, not necessarily, you know?
Yeah, like you're still seeing some, but I think the ones you're seeing do have a bit more personality and differences to them than just like a lot of the typical racers from like the PS1 generation.
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. Like honestly, if there's been any theme over the past like couple of years, it's the push for online play. Right? Like, there's a lot of online talk, and that's been going on for at least a couple of years now from when we've been watching.
Yeah, and even just to like extend on that a bit, like co-op play has also been a much bigger thing in the last like 3-4 years as well.
Yeah, right. So that's kind of what we're seeing. We're seeing more of a push for that. So not really any like themes in terms of what games are coming out, but you can tell certain like developers and companies are more like, well, online co-op, right? That's kind of what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and the thing is too, is we're actually going to see a sudden shift in that within the next like year or two, because the Wii is going to be approaching its release, right?
Yeah.
Which is then I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to see a sudden shift in, oh, well, it's all motion controls now, right? That's what's going to be the next theme, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself real quick, but
a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of a quote unquote spoiler for what I know becomes the next theme going forward. Now it's online and co-op. Next time it may, I mean, next year it still might be online and co-op, but after that, I think we're gonna see a sudden shift into, motion controls. The way of the future.
Yeah.
Everybody loves motion controls. Ugh. I can't wait. All right, something else you want to say about 2005 before we wrap it on up?
Overall, I thought it was a good year. A lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a pretty good year as well. Once again, a decent showing of video games, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, so I guess we'll see you guys in 2006. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We hope you all enjoyed. But for now, it's time we cue the outro. So Frag out, and we shall catch you guys later.
Bye.